when I gave to Pastor Chris, I had never given $1 million anywhere to say this is $1 million US I've given to someone. Even if you calculate all the years, it was never getting to 1 million. I remember after giving a certain level, I went to my house. And as I slept there, I saw heaven open. And I see the Lord Jesus on the podium like this, just a podium like this. And he would call generals, and there was an angel who would be handed a paper, and the angel would shout, Uebert. And I saw Bishop Uebert go to this, and he said, what is the number of your buildings that you have given to the Lord and for the Lord's service? He would read, and would be waiting there. And I was just like, wow. And then Adeboye, then this great man of God, are coming. And then there would be some people who would be called as well to say something in, they will say, Uebert, another person would come and is asked the same question. Then Pastor Chris is called. Said, give us an inventory. Give us what you have done for the work I've sent you. And you would come and say, okay, we have these buildings, we have these buildings, we have this building. I was just there going like, wow. Pastor Chris, these generals have done a lot of work that people don't know. The numbers of things that they were talking about, the amounts that they had used in billions, and I was like, nah. And I was there, I was supposed to be called. Not one kobo, not one building, not a cent. Maybe I was on minus. I got called after Pastor Chris. How many buildings? I said 0. How much is in the account? I said it's minus something. And I looked at the Lord and he was so angry with me. Like you're talking about the loving Jesus, angry, where you see lightning shots in his eyes. I said, what? I don't think I'm coming out of this vision. I'm dead. But the people don't give. When you are giving reasons like, how can I be asked this question? God knows already I'm not like these people. These people have started way back and then they are calling me among these people. Forget what visions you were told, you were what in prophecy, what your pedigrees in the prophetic. There, when you are now being asked by God, you realize your position. I sat down, there was another second row, they were asked again. This, now it was going into areas, categories of what they earned and what they had. And Bishop Uebert comes. The general Adeboye comes. And some are coming in the middle. See, boom, another general. Pastor Chris came back again. Asked the same thing. I came back, asked, how much this? I said, 0. Okay, how many members? Oh, millions. This one says millions. This one says, Pastor Chris comes, millions. I come in, I don't know how many we were at that time, maybe 150. But when a preacher says 150, you'll be around 50. Yes. As you know, African pastors, they say African pastors can't count. If you hear an African pastor saying we are 200, they are 30. Now, so I'm in there. The last row was done. And it was told, now you can go. Now Pastor Chris comes in and he's asked another question again in that vision, and he began to elaborate. This is it. This is what we have done. This is what we've done. These are the numbers we have. And I came back here. I said, these are the numbers we have. And this, and the Lord looked at me and moved to the front and grabbed the paper of where Pastor Chris was reading his from, and grabbed it and put it on the podium. I said, read what Chris said. Whatever I asked you, give the answers Chris gave. So, how many members? Millions. I saw in a vision, pure vision, not some envisioning, no, real vision. Where God puts you in a close, in the cave of Adullam, you are sitting there and you see pictures. And I started calling all the numbers. Pastor Chris was told, you don't go. Repeat. How many buildings? He said, I came back, I said, I have buildings. Same number, sir. Same number. Why he said 20,000? I said 20,000. Why he said 50 million? I said 50 million. And the Lord was smiling. Said, whatever he says, repeat it. That's what you have. Do you have a building? It's called Hippodrome. Full.
Come on. Yes, sir.
Do you have cars? Yes. If you don't have any of yours, see the ones I drive, just mention it, that's yours. Yeah, Range Rover, Mercedes, Ferrari, just mention whatever. Where is it? I parked it at the Hippodrome. Your problem is you don't have a fatherhood relationship, and you don't sow into the unction. If you sow into the unction, whatever I drive, even though I did not use your money, but my money was spared because I could use yours somewhere. No, they didn't get it. They don't get it. Don't let a pastor tell you that I'm just using my money, yours is not involved. If yours is not involved, he would have used his money to a certain higher degree to cover the bills that yours then covered. So, I never do anything. Right now, before we do any raising of any finances, I'm using my personal finances, my wife's personal finances, my family's personal finances to finance some projects that come in between. And when we get towards Missions Week, now I know you've raised your money for that building I was taking care of. Now you take care.
Yes.
I can do this now.
Yes.
I'm not free.
Yes.
But you're sitting there. There's nothing you have decided. Men of God, young men of God are the perpetrators of this. That all they want is free. Just lay hands on and I'm going. How come you have very few people that have made it in ministry? I did a calculation here. And I said even if we give it a try and give it more than it's worth, we can have at least 3 billion Christians. And only 30 popular Christians. 30 popular men of God and women of God. That's it. I know you think there's so many. They're not. Trust me. If you look at the people you think are huge, there are people that can leave Zimbabwe, preach in England to other Zimbabweans. Never a coat of many colors. Because they can't go beyond. Because they have not chosen to submit. They have not found a mentor. They have not craved what he has. They have not listened to the words. They have not found a career. They have not sown into the career. They have not engaged in a soul tie with the career. And they have not sought fatherhood with the career. find a career. Crave for what he has. Crave for it. Engage with the words of your career. So seek a tall side. You see, a tie so tight with your career. Seek a fatherhood with a career. Then seek to sow and pour into that career's life. One time I used to say, I have only 3,000, I have 20,000, I have 5,000, I can't send Pastor Chris. No, I can't send it. It's too little. Too little for who? That's what you have. That's exactly what you have. Don't live beyond what you are able. This is exactly what you have. I saw in a vision, pure vision, not some envisioning, no, real vision. Where God puts you in a close, in the cave of Adullam. You are sitting there and you see pictures. And I looked at the Lord and he was so angry with me. Like you're talking about the loving Jesus, angry, where you see lightning shots in his eyes. I said, what? I don't think I'm coming out of this vision. I'm dead. And the Lord looked at me and moved to the front and grabbed the paper of where Pastor Chris was reading his from and grabbed it and put it on the podium and said, read what Chris said. Whatever I asked you, give the answer.